This is a blade drive. This is a brand new one that I'm holding. It comes in a package like this, and it resides inside your clippers. So I've got two very common clippers here. The Andis 5-speed, which is my favorite, then the Andis Super 2-speed. This is just an old one. It's a little bit on the fritz, but I'm still gonna show you guys how to change the blade drive on it, just because in case you have this kind. A lot of these detachable A5 style blades and the corded clippers have a similar procedure for changing the blade drive. So obviously you wanna get your blade out of the way. This hinge that you put your blade on, if it gets pressed down without the blade, it's super hard to get up. So you just need to cram a screwdriver in there and pry it up back into position. Now I've watched a handful of videos on how to do this, and there's one mistake some make, which is to take these screws out. You don't need to. You only need to remove the blade drive screws, and then you can get the blade drive out of there without removing this piece. So obviously that was step one, remove this face piece here. Might as well do it on this one. We can take a look in here. This blade drive is not nearly as worn out, and that's because I don't really use these clippers. But you can see this one's dirty and yucky, and I promise you it needs to be replaced. So I'm going to recommend that you use the right size screwdriver when you're removing these screws, and you do your best not to strip the screws, because the new blade drive doesn't come with new screws. So you're going to save these. Now the purpose of your blade drive is to convert the rotating motion of that bearing in there into a linear motion for the cutting of the blade. And in general, instructions say that you can use a flathead screwdriver to pry up each side of this once the screws are removed. You may be able to just do it with your hands and kind of wiggle it. You're gonna pull this thing off, and you kind of have to do like a little scooping motion, like swoop it out so that that tip part escapes out from under this metal piece here. This bearing, all the instructions will say you can actually like move this with your finger. So you're gonna want that in the middle and in the back, and that's gonna help leave room for your new one. That red stuff on there, that's just grease that comes with the new blade drive. I want to show you this too. When you compare these, the old one, there's like a lot of give, and when I squeeze this one, there's not a lot of give. It's real stiff. So that's one of the things. It's just a plastic part that wears out much more quickly than the other metal parts, and it's as easy as that. You kind of have to finagle it in there, and given that your bearing is in the center and back, you will have success. There, I just kind of got a little snap in there, and now I'm gonna gently push the rest down. And now everything's aligned and it's pretty much snapped into place, and I just need to put the screws in. And again, I don't recommend stripping the screws. So do your best to get the torque just right, to get them pretty tight, but don't over crank it. I've got a new blade drive on there. Never a bad idea to use some compressed air. Back on there. Look how yucky that got. The old one's garbage. Toss it out. Just for fun, we'll look at this one. Same procedure. Let's see if I can wiggle it out without prying my screwdriver under it. No, I think I need the flathead screwdriver. Kind of get under that side. That side. There we go. Feel that just comes on out of there. There's like, oh, just some greasy hair. That's yucky. This is great maintenance. You gotta get this stuff out of here once in a while. Some people use compressed air, like instead of the can of air, like an actual air compressor, the nozzle. And if you don't have that, it's not the end of the world. So again, this bearing, you can manipulate it all the way around because it rotates like that. And so to do this, you want it pushed back, like pushed into the middle and back. And I'm not replacing this blade drive, so I'm just gonna reinsert this old one because it's not old enough and I don't use these clippers, so it'd be a waste of a blade drive if I really replaced it. But when I finagle it back on there, you see how this black channel here goes around that bearing. So if the bearing was off center, you'd have more trouble finagling this on there. Okay, now it's ready for the screws. Alright guys, so that was a blade drive change. Thanks so much for watching. If you liked this video, please like this video because that helps me reach a lot more people. And my name is Colleen and this is Good Dog Grooming. Thanks for watching.